I have a question, like a process question about it, because my life is spectacular, and so many of my businesses, like there's so many different places I can put my attention aside from this. Is it better to just take my focus completely away from it, or is it better to deliberately shift, which I have done also, where I've deliberately shifted my feeling on it into a better and better feeling place? It's not in the best feeling place yet, but I know it can get there. Or just appreciate all the other amazing stuff going on in my life.
Well, you can't, when you've got a point of attraction going on,
right.
Law of attraction is going to keep dishing
right.
it up to you.
Right.
So you don't want to go hide in the closet either.
Right.
So we would do two things. We would appreciate whenever possible and extend the appreciation through rampages as long as they're feeling good. And in every other case, just go general, because when you're in a situation that is pervasive, mm-hmm. and it's calling your attention quite a bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can find appreciation mm-hmm. when you're not facing it. Mm-hmm. You can be distracted enough that other wonderful things will just call appreciation through you. And of course, when you do that, you're practicing the appreciation vibration, which just makes it more natural to you. But then when the situation that you really don't want to look at is right there for you to look at it, you can't not look at it.
Right.
But the way you soften your angst about it is by becoming as general as you can. This too shall pass. This really is a good thing, although I can't see it right now. There is benefit in this that I don't really know yet. Always in the step one experience, there's wonderful stuff that's going into the vortex, and even though I can't see it now, I accept on an intellectual basis that it is there. There are gifts here that I haven't really reaped the benefit of yet, but I know they're there for me to reap. This isn't so bad. It's something that I tensed against for a long time, but there's nothing really awful about it. And I'm having a lot of new experiences, and I'm learning, and there's something sort of satisfying in coping and in learning and in going through the process of it. And I'm becoming broader in my thinking, and there's nothing terrible going on here, and it's going to be all right. And I love learning, and life is about learning, and I've never wanted to shy away from. And this isn't an indication that I've done something wrong. This is an indication that I want something big. In other words, I can't play in this big world with these big players if I don't understand this. So I'm catching my sea legs on all of that. So two things: appreciate as much as you can and go general. Now, of course, we want you to reach the place where you can appreciate fully. But you can't make that jump all at once. Mm-hmm. And when you try, it backfires on you. Where if you go general, you can find the place of it. The rule of thumb that we've offered is be as specific as you can be while still feeling good. So as you're general and feeling good and general and feeling good and general and feeling good, before you know it, you can become more specific and feeling good and more specific. And of course, the answer is the more specific you are while feeling good, the more of your natural power you have, the more you're hooked up with the fullness of who you are. In other words, that's where that outrageous feeling of being powerful and being worthy and of sharing it with others, mm-hmm. your greatest value to anyone who is playing with you is in that kind of alignment. Mm-hmm. Yes.
A while ago, you said to me when I was feeling really high and happy on business, I love business the way some people love football. It is like just passionate to me. And you were like, oh, this is just the tip of the iceberg for you. And then since that happened, it almost feels like the whole iceberg has been uncovered. But I know still that is the tip of the iceberg too. Do you have anything more for me?
Your capacity to feel it is ever expanding. And again, it's a perceptual thing. But it's always going to feel when you finally accept, and you're there and then you're not, and then you're there and you're not. Mm-hmm. But when you finally accept that there are no limits, then the game shifts for you.
Yeah.
And instead of achieving financially,
right,
you become one who wants to achieve emotionally. And that's when it shifts into a whole new place. That's when you're doing it for the love of it. You're doing it for the fun of it. In other words, expansion is what you crave. Earlier, when we talked about your point of attraction can be with your inner being or without your inner being. When you begin attracting in concert with the source within you. It's the feeling of creation that you're reaching for, not the subject of your creation, not the object of creation. It's the feeling. It's the feeling of this energy that creates worlds flowing through you. It's the feeling of an idea hatching in your mind and playing out. It's the feeling of getting hold of a little piece of something, that's that tip of the iceberg, and knowing that there's more there than you can see, and being willing to be general enough about it that you don't feel angst about it until it comes into clearer and clearer view. It's the feeling, the delight, as it begins to show itself to you, or better said, as you begin to be able to see it because you're tuning yourself to the frequency, the higher frequencies. This whole process, it's so interesting because it's this eternal cycle of creation, of you being source energy, and then you separating yourself enough from it that you can ask for more, and then blending with source energy who blended with the more that you asked for before you did. In other words, that's this eternal cycle of life. Sometimes when we talk about manifestation, there's this rift, this contention, there's this mediation that we are always trying to apply with our human friends that goes something like the debate over spiritual and material. And we say, there's no debate. Everything that is manifesting is spirit. In other words, that's why we ask you what you think we're doing. Do you think we're driving cars around on the clouds? And we want you to understand that as you are here, you are the physical version of that which is us. So as you are perceiving, as you are here as you achieve a point of view, a consciousness that exists in a now reality, we perceive through you. We perceive all that you are. We are all that you are, but we are without the resistant version. So, and when you catch glimpses of the non-resistant version of how far you have taken that which is us, are you hearing this? Yeah. We are not source energy separate from you, waiting for you to get your act together so that we can receive you and give you a gold star. Because your gold star is our gold star. And what the gold star is identifying a new desire and finding a way to align with it until more of the forces of nature come into play for a manifestation, for more to experience. That's what manifestation is. But manifestation is an emotional game, period. And if you make it an emotional game, so if your question is how full, ask us a business question from an emotional point of view.
I'm not even sure what you
How
mean.
expansive can I feel in my business, Abraham?
How expansive can I feel in my business?
Unlimited. Unlimited. Tip of the iceberg, tip of the iceberg, tip of the iceberg, tip of the iceberg. How much fun can I have in my business? Unlimited. Not how big can it get? Not can I win this suit?
Right.
Not how many companies will I have? Not what does my profit and loss look like? Because all of those are the mundane version of the manifestation. But how expansive can I feel? How much fun can I have? How free can I feel? How many others can I draw into this feeling of freedom? How glad can I be that I'm alive? How good can the air smell while I'm doing my business? How expansive can I be?
How connected to source can I feel?
How connected to source can I be? How much of source energy will play this game? How much of source energy will contemplate my combative partner? How much of source energy will infuse my so-called enemy with the love and appreciation so that we can dance this dance together? How far can we go together in our understanding that there is not a limited pie, there is an expansive pie that we are creating together? How fully can I embrace this person in utter appreciation for the newfound clarity that has erupted as a result of what I thought was a problem that turns out to just be another tip of another iceberg to which I am eternally craving?
Thank you.
There's a tendency to say, as you stand in a manifestation that is unwanted, what went wrong? And if instead you will begin saying, what's going right? because it's causing an expansion that even though you can't maybe hook up with it completely right now, it still exists. And when you do, you're going to have the best moment of your life, you see. And you'll look back and you'll say, well, that was so worth it. That was so way, 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 way worth it. That was so worth it. As you often do after the fact, but you rarely do in the middle of the mess. Now what?